All right, now to the latest on the massive 2017 Equifax cyber attack that compromised the personal information of nearly 150 million people. 4 Chinese military officials have been charged. The Justice Department released their pictures at a news conference earlier today.
Names, addresses, credit card information, social security numbers all leaked, and an investigation showed that Equifax failed to fix a web server vulnerable to hackers. So CBS News Chief Justice and Homeland Security correspondent Jeff Pegues is following this story for us from Washington. Jeff, what can you tell us about the suspects? As we mentioned, that we know that they worked for the Chinese military.
Well, that's right, and it's going to be hard for U.S. officials to get them into custody. In fact, they acknowledged today that that was highly unlikely. But this is, part of the pattern that we've seen in the past with Chinese hackers. Often they are linked back to Chinese military, and that's what this was, according to investigators, an intelligence operation to gather as much information about Americans as possible. And the numbers are really staggering. 145 million or so Americans' personal data gathered in this hack. That's nearly half of all Americans.
So, Jeff, what exactly were the hackers after?
Well, they were after Social Security information, driver's license information, date of birth information, your name. So everything that is valuable to any American in terms of your personal information when you go to purchase a car or buy a house or anything like that. So this is the type of breach that could do a significant amount of damage to any American's personal information. But I did ask the FBI what is happening with this information that was stolen. Is it being used? So far, they say it hasn't been used, which really fits a pattern with Chinese hackers. We've seen in the past with previous breaches that they often gather up as much information as they possibly can and then hold on to the information. The question is, to what end?
So you mentioned that the likelihood of the Justice Department getting their hands on these people who have been indicted probably pretty low. So then what are the next steps in the investigation?
Well, what happened today is a major step in an investigation like this when, according to U.S. officials, you have a nation state behind this kind of breach. One thing U.S. officials tried to do is name the offender to, in their view, hopefully prevent future hacks. It doesn't seem like it's the kind of tactic that's working. We've just, we see so many of these. The difference here is the sheer volume of Americans affected by this. But part of the method of operation for U.S. officials, U.S. investigators, is to name and shame whoever is behind these high-profile hacks.
All right, Jeff Pegues for us. Thank you very much, Jeff.
My pleasure.